to the Guns and Outdoors channel. I hope you are doing well out there. So you've carried these for years, if not decades. You've customized them, you've trained with them. That's the infamous Glock pistol that needs no introduction. However, on the customization side, have you ever sent slides out, had things go wrong, the quest for the Cerakote, the latest doodad that didn't quite work out? How about that trigger that wasn't so safe, even though it got your trigger pull weight down to below 3 pounds? All the above, right? The springs and the strikers and the titanium and the undercuts and the stippling jobs. Okay, you get my point. There are companies out there, instead of you having to piecemeal it all by yourself, like Shadow Systems, that are hedging a successful bet that you'll love their product line of Glock-inspired fully loaded pistols. All right, Shadow Systems, based in Plano, Texas, is a company that manufactures these premium firearms that we're going to look at today. Of course, made in the USA. The Shadow Systems DR920P Elite. So make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. We're going to do a quick tabletop. We're going to talk about the features of the gun. I'm going to discuss a break-in period, and then we're going to head out to the range and shoot this compensated full-size pistol. It's going to be awesome. Back. Shadow Systems is going to give you the pistol in a nice padded case. You can take that to and from the range, which is nice. It's going to come with 2 mag-pull magazines, and this guy is unloaded. You won't have to worry about that. There is a designation of DR on this, so the DR920P. Originally, it came out with the DR920. It didn't have the compensator. The P is going to give you the cool compensator that we're going to deep dive into here in a moment. Specs on this guy, you get a nice black nitride finish on the slide. I think that's really good. Obviously, you got a polymer frame, which has a lot of bells and whistles that Shadow System is doing for you. It's striker fired. In terms of barrel length, it's a little under 4.5. Overall length here with the comp is 8.44, and then width is coming in a little over 1 inch at 1.2. Height to the bottom of the red dot is 5 1/4. And then the biggest thing I want to hit on here is actually the weight. The weight on this, with the SRO, with the comp, with an unloaded mag, is coming at 23.75. All right, if that doesn't blow your skirt up, what I'll just tell you is something different. Let's introduce a Glock 17. The short of it is, this Glock 17 with an empty mag and an RMR just feels a lot heavier. It just does. If you look at the size, they're very comparable. Here's the back. There's the slides, right? Very comparable. Now, what I mean by that is, on my scale, this guy is weighing at 24.65. 24.6, 23.7. This guy feels a lot heavier. It is a feeling. I'll never forget when I went to a competition class, I would say 3 or 4 months back. My buddy Matt pulled me to the side and said, "Hey man, check this thing out." Put this in my hand. I was like, man, it just feels really light. It feels 5-6 ounces lighter than the Glock 17. You have to pick it up and experience it for yourself. My only guess, technically, it's somehow with the weight distribution. There's something different about these guys. They feel real good in the hand over a traditional Glock. All right. Manufactured Shadow System. They're out of Texas, as we talked about in the opener, and MSRP is $10.99. So the DR920P Elite feels real light in the hand. This is a full size. The aesthetics on this, it just looks awesome. Looks like everything you need. And I can't think of one thing this guy doesn't have. So you're getting the whole lineup here on this. In terms of red dot cut, one thing that stands out is Shadow Systems has done a good job on giving you multiple footprints. Now, what do I mean by that? If you watch my Landon Tactical Beretta video on the Elite, they had to redo and move around a lot of the internals. In this case, Shadow had to adjust the spring for the extractor, and they pre-mounted this in multiple footprints. That's going to allow you to have an optic cut without having to do a red dot mounting adapter plate, which is pushing your red dot higher. Now that we can sink counter depth in, that's going to give you a better coat witness. You're going to pick up your rear sights and your dot a lot better. It's going to minimize the time you need to find looking at your dot as you go to present and shoot. So typical patterns are what we all expect, right? Trijicon, RMR, SROs, your Holosons, your 407s, your 507s, 508Ts, 507Ks. one of my backup favorites, the Leupold Delta Point Pro, Shield RMSC, Sig Romeo 1s. And then your other less common brands, right? Not putting anything down here, your Swamp Fox, your True Glow, your Vortex, Viper. It is gonna come not with a polymer trigger, but a metal trigger. You can see the tab here. We'll dive into that a little more substantially here in a bit. I will say that on the trigger pull weight, the advertised trigger pull weight is between 4 pounds and 4.5. I'll go ahead and give you a live pull, as we always do on the channels. I like to see this part myself, so that's why I do it for you guys. So go ahead and do a pull. All right, and this guy came in at a little over 5. Let's do one more. Average trigger pull weight for me was around 4.6 on this. May have gotten a little pull happy. Here we are, we're at 4.75. So over the advertised weight, but hey, that's duty roll. That feels about right. It's not a great trigger. It feels, you know, it's not bad though. So your mileage may vary on what you're looking for. If I owned this, I would do some polishing work on my trigger bar, and I would try to not get my weight down, but I would try to refine the trigger, the feel on this. And if I couldn't do that, I'd probably go with the Glock Performance trigger or one of those Temney triggers. I have Shadow Systems that had the Temney trigger that felt really good. Very, very good. Something to consider there. Everybody's different, and that Glock trigger, did a video on that as well. That is really good drop-in $99 trigger. So something to consider if you want to further refine your and use this for less of a duty roll and more of a competition roll. Really like what Shadow Systems doing there when they redefined and remilled all this. Allows things to co-witness real good and pick up these dots. All right, I may not be super impressed with the trigger on this particular pistol, but I am really impressed with this compensator. Let's talk about this and zoom in for a second. Shadow Systems has a patent on this. It's got one large, big open port. What's interesting about it is how it mounts. See how it just recesses right in these grooves? So it's really neat. There's one O-ring in there, and it comes on or off with one pin. So if you wanted to disassemble this, it's 10 seconds. Grab yourself a punch tool. There you go. Look at that. Take your pin out, and then this guy just slides right off. How simple and easy is that? All your carbon buildup, and you will get a lot of carbon. You can just start cleaning it, whatever you need to do. They mounted their night vision sight with your tritium vial right into it. And here's your O-ring. Be mindful of that. So you did what you need to do. You want to thread it back on. Just go in the reverse order. Grab your pin. Grab your punch tool. Boom. So you're going to get a good flat shooter. The compensator is going to do his job. And it's real easy to do maintenance on it. Let's zoom in on the trigger. I'll show you a little bit of take up. It is a little crunchy. I can definitely feel it sticking. I get to that wall, probably at the 95, 96. There it is. I took out a little more and then bang. Reset. Again, this is adequate. If I own this pistol, I'd probably try to polish it, stone that trigger bar a little more. See if I could get this a little better. If that doesn't work, as I said already, I'd probably go aftermarket. Going around the gun now, we've got some undercuts. Really nice. It's got a great aggressive grip texture. I think Shadow Systems does a good job there. Now, it's not taking Walther PDP out of its #1 all-time position in terms of slide serrations and grip texture, but this is really good. It's definitely, in my opinion, better than the Glock grip texture. This magazine release button is adequate. I don't think it's better than the one that comes with the Glock. It's a little squishy, but it drops free. Mags are good. It does have a polymer mag well on the bottom, so that's great. If I was to carry this pistol, I'd take that off. It's attached with just one pin, as you guys can see here. But if you're gonna compete with this, which is really its main purpose, I'd leave that on there. Coming up the back side of the gun, you're gonna see a nice extended beaver tail. It comes out a lot further than what's on Glocks. And you can then transition to the edges. If you look at snag-free edges that have been knocked down, you can see that Shadow Systems done that in their molds. They've done a great job there. Extending that into the pistol, you see a lot of the great edges and cuts. Even out to this complete system where their compensator, the lines all match up perfectly. That's one of the things I appreciate versus going aftermarket. Your end of your pistol for the manufacturer may not fit the aftermarket compensator that you want to put on. Also keep in mind that when you put on a threaded compensator, you have to shim and get it right. Not hard to do, pretty straightforward, but that's the beauty of this DR920P Elite. You're getting it all integrated, right? Even the distance between this thing, it's all done. It's perfect, idiot proof. And that's what I love about it. Kind of keeps it simple. So if you want a flat shooter in a Shadow Systems package, this 920P is the way you want to go on that. In terms of backstraps, instead of the small, medium, and large, there's a high, a neutral, and a low. High is going to be your Glock angle. So if you're going from Glock to Shadow Systems, in order to take advantage of these features, they got you covered. If you want to come off of M&P style, which I believe is what the owner has on this one, it's kind of that intermediate on presentation. I definitely feel that. And for me, coming off my Walther and 1911s, which it's more of an upright cant when I present, my muscle memory, how my wrist locks out, I like that. So a little something for everybody. And their 1911 low grip is money. If you're watching this video and you're not into Glocks, this is a reason for you to look at the Shadow system. So you can go both ways. Glocks can jump over and the 1911 guys can go this way due to the back straps, having a little something for everybody. Pick rail, real simple. Just throw on a light. I have an Olight Baller Mini here. There's a 1-slot rail. Just pop it on, just like that. Drop the lever, you're in business. Real simple to go to work and do what you need to do here on that. And if you're coming off the line and you want to check, make sure you got one in the chamber, shoot or load and make ready, or unload and showed clear, or whatever that situation is, there's times and scenarios where you need to do a press check or that sort of thing. I find that these serrations to be adequate. They're not great. My advice to Shadow Systems is either make them more aggressive or make them more vertical so I can grip. Yes, I can do it, but this front one's a little better. I actually find this rear one a little slicker. Of course, when you're running a red dot like this Trijicon SRO, you're just coming over the top. You're kind of grabbing the housing, the front of it, that sort of thing. So I'm able to get the job done. But I can tell you, if I did not have this recessed dot here, I could tell this would be slick. I do like the fact that this blacked out rear mates so well with the SRO. I'm a big fan of buy once, cry once. If you haven't tried an SRO, they are expensive. Get yourself one. You want to shave a few dollars? Try the Delta Point Pro. They're going to mount up really good. Love the fact that this has an SRO. It's got really, really good glass. In terms of holsters, if you have a Glock 17 with an open bottom holster, this will fit right in. If you have a longer holster and you already own a Glock 34, then this would fit there as well. Barrel-wise, we've got a spiral fluted barrel. That's nice. I remember spending $400 just on a barrel. It's nuts where you can go with some of this aftermarket stuff and possibly not even get it right. It does have a stainless steel guide rod, as you can see there. It's going to come with an 18, a 15, and a 20-pound spring. I believe what comes out factory is an 18-pound spring. So when you first pull this out of the box, you got two things you're contending with. If you're shooting a lighter grain bullet, like 115 versus 124 or 147 grain 9mm NATO load, you may run into some failure to extracts or some failure to ejects or even some stovepipes. Here's the deal on that. Two things. One, put in the 15-pound spring right out of the gate. It's going to work for everything. By the way, if I got that wrong and you have a different result, let us know what you got down in the comment section below. Now I'm going to pivot over to their Shadow Systems recommended break-in period. I'm going to have Matt come in and talk about his. We went to the range already. I had him explain his break-in period. He's very meticulous and detailed. I like what he experienced, and I'm sure you're going to have a similar experience when you get your Shadow. Well, Matt's going to tell us about the break-in and his experience. So what was that like for you, Matt?
So Shadow Systems claims about a 200-round break-in period. On this particular gun, it comes with two springs, an 18-pound spring that comes in the gun and a 15-pound spring that comes in the box. I immediately installed the 15-pound spring because that's what everyone online recommended, and then I started the break-in period. So for me, I used a hotter load for the break-in period, and initially the gun wouldn't cycle. So I would get a bang, the slide would kind of come back a little bit, and then it would go back into battery, the casing wouldn't eject, and I would have to manually cycle a new round in. So I did that for about one magazine. After that point, I got a few rounds that would cycle completely, the gun was running fine, and then I would have 3 or 4 more out of batteries where the gun might be just slightly out of battery and I'd have to thump it into place,
Okay.
or I'd have to cycle another round. With each subsequent mag that I went through, performance improved and reliability got better. It took about 5 or 6 mags for the gun to run completely clean, and it took about 150 rounds for it to be completely reliable. After that, I didn't have to put hot loads through it anymore. I put Blazer 124 and 100 and 115 grain through it. I put MagTech through it. I was able to put Winchester White Box through it. I was able to put Remington through it. Pretty much anything you can think of, and it ate it. Cellar and Bellet, that worked just fine. And after that point, gun's just been running. I've had no malfunctions. And in fact, I think it broke in sooner than 200 rounds. So I was completely happy with that.
Right on. So you love the gun? It's working good?
I love the gun. First comped gun I've ever owned, and I think it made a huge difference.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. Essentially what it is this is not a loose tolerance gun. It's a tighter fit. So when you go to shoot through, the surfaces have to mate, right? And like anything, surfaces mate, you oil it up, you clean it, and you run through that break-in period. And you're gonna notice a couple failure ejects, extracts, and then right that 200 round break-in period's over, everything's gonna be shooting great for you. You're gonna be in good shape there. All right, you guys know what time it is. Let's go out to the range and have some fun. Stand by. All right, guys, we're at the range. You're gonna give the Shadow Systems DR920P a run for the money. Before we do that, let me give you one more view of the pistol. It is unloaded. Let's take a quick look. There we go. Should be a great shooter with the compensator on the end. I have shot it before, but I didn't go for accuracy, precision, or read speed previously. So it's like a new day. Let's see how she does. In terms of ammunition, I'm shooting a little something different. I believe this is Hungarian ammo. Got a good deal online. It's called the New Republic, and it is a 115 grain ball ammo. All right, so we're gonna give it a go. Hopefully it's fairly accurate. I've got the VTAC target. We're gonna send it out to 30 feet. Then we're gonna load and make ready. See how she does. Let me get you in a good spot. I am shooting this Magpul magazine. It's kind of interesting. Compare that to a Glock. You don't see all your round count. Hopefully that's coming through. It does show you when you're full at 17. I did talk to my group of guys. They haven't had any issues with it. So let me know down below if you've had any previous issues with yours. Shooting a little high. Let's see how that goes. First shot a little high for me. Wondering if that's the dot, but not bad. Let's just turn it around, keep it going, and send it back out. Get back out there. All right. Nice. Very low recoil. I can feel the muzzle brake. It feels good. It's doing its job. I like that. I'm impressed. Let's bring it in a little bit. Yeah. What do you guys think? I like that a lot. Woo, that's a fine looking group. There you go. Not bad, not bad. Not bad. That was definitely the L snatch up. But here you go. That shot really good. Let's send it back out. All right, let's go 45 feet. See how we can do. And I got a nice 20 round mag. So we'll throw in this 20 round Glock mag. with this base plate extension. So 17 round mag, and I believe this is either 20 or 21. Also give us a little extra added weight, not that we need it. Sweet. This gun shoots good. This gun shoots good. Oh yeah. Oh, you see for yourself. Came out. I gotta make sure I'm not riding the slide. I may have induced that myself. Ooh, 21 rounds goes quick. Nice. Let's bring it in. Oh yeah. I'd say that's a accurate shooting gun. What do you guys say? Not bad, right? Very pleased. Gold pill, blue pill. Yeah, you know which one we're gonna do. We're gonna send it all the way out. We're gonna test accuracy. 75 feet, one shot. Everybody knows the rules. Let's see what we do. Headshot. Wish me luck. Oh, good Lord. Can't even see that far. Oh, God. That's too funny. Sweet. Look at that, guys. Oh, my goodness. That is an ultimate mic drop. Holy crap. How's that for your shadow systems? That is great. All right, yeah, who says Glock clones can't be accurate? I don't want to hear it. All right, guys, well, that's a wrap on the video. I hope you enjoyed the Shadow Systems DR920P. What an awesome shooter. Instead of you, remember what I talked about in the beginning, instead of you buying parts and piecemealing everything together on your own, kind of taking a gamble, let Shadow Systems and companies like this give you all the accessories you need. This is a good pistol. Also, my buddies told me to make sure I hit on their customer service. These guys have excellent customer service. If you have a problem with the barrel, they're gonna take care of you. Fit and finish on your firearm, they're gonna take care of you. So if you're on the fence, don't let that be a inhibitor. Go ahead and take the plunge. For the price, if you just look at options, as I talked about in my tabletop, there's a lot of value. So if you have a Shadow Systems, go ahead and comment down below. Let me know what you think about it. All right, until next time, take care of yourselves. And as always, we're out of here. See ya. Make sure you like and subscribe.